everyone! Yes, I'm filming 2 videos in one day. I've got the time today. So, I want to talk about my favourite books of 2016. I just looked on Goodreads and I read a total of, I think, 63 books, which is a lot of books. Previous year I read, I think, like 52, and the year before that I read 52 again. It's around 52. So, I had a good reading year. I haven't got 10 books with me because I couldn't pick 10 books. I just really wanted to highlight the books that I thought, wow, that were absolutely extraordinary. And I couldn't find 10, so I'm going with 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe 8. I might do an honorary mention at the end, but let's start. The first book that I want to talk about is The Invention of Hugo by Brian Selznick. This book is all kinds of beautiful. I saw the film before I read the book, which I don't normally like to do, but I didn't realise it was a book when the film came out. I saw the film and it's one of my favourite films ever. I love it, it's beautiful, it's heartwarming, and it's all just so pretty and amazing, and the book is equally as beautiful. The illustrations are fantastic. It's a very chunky book, but most of the book is illustrations, so don't be put off by that. The Invention of Hugo tells the story of a boy, Hugo, who winds up being an orphan, and he runs for clocks in the train station in Paris. When his father dies and his uncle goes missing, he winds up in this big mystery about an old man who runs a toy booth and an automaton that's left behind, which he thinks contains a message that his father left him from beyond the grave. The next book is The House of the Spirits by Isabel II. This book is insane, so much happens. It's just an absolute magnificent story. It tells the story of 4 generations of women from the same family who are from Chile, and it goes through the political and historical things that were going on in the time in Chile through the eyes of the women in the story. So much happens in it, as you can probably imagine, because it's going through 4 generations of women. I can't tell you more than that because so much happens I don't even know where to begin, but read it because it's fantastic. If you're an introvert like me and you're wondering, how can I use my introvertism? Introvertism? Is that a word? I'm going to make a word. Introvertism to get ahead in life, read Quiet by Susan Cain. It's all about how being an introvert is actually a superpower and how you can use being an introvert to get ahead in life and get ahead in your career, and it's wonderful, and I read it and I felt so empowered by the end of it. Next book is Maybe Someday by Colleen Hoover. I did not expect to be sucked into this book as much as I was. It's a contemporary romance about a girl and a boy who, I think they live across the street from each other, and one day the girl finds out her boyfriend is cheating on her. She moves out and moves in with the boy next door, and then this sort of like romance blossoms, but he's got a girlfriend and he's in a band and it's amazing, and in the end I cried. Please read it, it's so good. Also, Maybe Someday has a soundtrack that goes with the book. You can listen to the music for free online on the website, and it tells you at the beginning what you need to do. It tells you when the songs come up in the book, and then the songs are interweaved into the storyline, and then when the songs come up you listen to the song and it all... I've got all the songs on my iPod. It's so good. Just read it. It's really good. It's really good. Next one is a graphic novel, and that is Nimona by Noelle Stevenson. This book was so good. I keep saying that for all of them, but it was so good. Tell your story. I read a particular page in the book and I was like crying with laughter. And I went to my friend and I said, you have to read this page. Just read this one page in the book. She'd never read the book before. She read the page. She too was absolutely crying with laughter. But then it got really deep. It got so deep and it got sad. And I was like, you were funny. Why are you getting deeper? I mean the book, not my friend. I just love Nimona. I love that she just runs into scenes and everyone else is just saying to her, what are you doing? Stop this. And she's like, to victory! In case you're wondering, it's about a villain who takes on an intern, and it's set in medieval times. It's a fantasy, and this intern is Nimona and she can shapeshift. She comes on board and kind of learns the villainous ways of this villain, but obviously she kind of also does her own thing and goes off and completely does not play by the rules and is just marvellous. Next book I read, which I didn't expect to love as much as I did, that is Furiously Happy by Jenny Lawson. This book was so funny and it just dealt with mental health issues in such a good way, just being very frank and open about it, but also inviting people to sort of laugh along with her. It's non-fiction about Jenny Lawson and her coping with her mental illnesses, and she came up with the idea that because she's got depression, she's going to be furiously happy about everything to try and beat this depression. Very interesting way in looking at mental illness, and I really like her mantra about just, you know, kicking depression in the butt by being furiously happy. And obviously you're not going to beat depression just by, you know, cheering up, because that's stupid and not true. But it's just the way she goes about dealing with it, with this mantra in her head, sort of makes for some very uplifting stories. The last book I have on here is Only Ever Yours by Louise O'Neill. This book, and I'm going to put it in as well, Asking for It as well, I think she's only got 2 books out, don't quote me on that, but I read those 2 books and oh, they're so powerful. Jeez, oh my god. When I read Asking for It, I finished the book, I actually went and wrote a poem in response to that book because I was so angry. And I was angry because of the end, but also I was angry because this stuff happens and it was a truthful end, and it's just wrong that it should end the way it did in real life and in the book. So I wrote a poem. It's on my blog if you want to go and check it out. It's so brutally honest, it makes you want to throw up. But in a good way, because these things actually happen and we should be feeling like that about these topics. And then I'm going to give an honorary mention because I never read autobiographies. Oh, apart from Furiously Happy by Jenny Lawson. But I never read autobiographies, but I read The Girl with the Lower Back Tattoo by Amy Schumer. It was so good. It was absolutely hilarious. Her humour is just, she's so funny because she speaks the truth, but she puts everything out there in a very brutally honest way. At the same time, it's kind of the truth that people should be speaking about, but they're not speaking about because there's all this stigma and shame about certain subjects. But she just like puts it all out in the open. Each chapter is a different subject matter and she just talks about that. It's hilarious, so funny, so empowering. I absolutely loved it, so go and read it. So those were my favourite books of 2016. I hope you enjoyed that, and let me know what your favourite books of 2016 were in the comments below. I hope you're well, and I'll see you next time. Bye!